All right, so again, it's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So all of them look pretty damn good. Yeah, I did slightly clean the tops off. I took all the rings out, cleaned out all the ring lands, um, checked all the rings for some bounce back, some play. They all seem to have that nice bit of play. Oil rings, all that look good. I don't see anything that will say otherwise. Still movement with the wrist pin. It still floats freely in the piston and as well as on the rod. Coating still on there for the most part. You see some spots where coatings run through, but this coating is manufacturer says you're supposed to build it tight and let it build into the coating and stuff. But I mean, the coating still looks pretty good. Let's see. But other than that, man, like I said, I don't see anything crazy with it. Rods still look good. Nothing crazy. Again, I look at the bearings. This is from number 6. I don't see anything too crazy. Again, I'm no bearing expert. Looks like there's still some coating. This one looks like it's maybe starting to get through on the ends. Maybe a little looser. The bearings I got, I did go a little looser, so I'll probably pick up a little oil in there for the bearings. But again, I don't see anything that's crazy on any of them. Even say this is so this is 3. This is my problem. Again, with this one, I can see seems like a little more wear. But nothing too crazy. And I'll even show you all this piston because it's the one that kind of had the incident. I mean, the piston's still solid. Like everything's pretty clean. Still moves. I don't really see any issues. Nothing seems to be bent or destroyed with that. Anything. Nothing crazy. Wear on this one's good as well. So, then I think the main issue, I think I just ended up floating the valve, kissing the piston, and that's kind of what did everything else. So, yeah, everything's in pretty good shape. Rings were good too, like nothing on that. One thing I did notice, my number 1 piston, and piston looks good. Good movement. No issues there, right? Nothing wrong with the rods. Ring lands all look good. But I did notice I bent it now because I wanted to break it to actually use it to clean. The number 2 ring, hopefully if you can see this, this was the end of the number 2 ring. So it chipped somehow on the end. Don't know how that happened. Again, this is number 1, my second ring. So not really sure why that happened. Bearings for that one look good. The top ring look good as well. No issues with the top ring. Like all that seems perfect. So I'm not sure what happened with why this end piece broke off, or how long it's been like that. But that was the only issue I had with that ring. So I was trying to find a replacement for this pack. But what I think I'm gonna do, I'm still trying to keep this cheap and budget friendly. So since I'm not gonna use number 3 piston anymore because it's destroyed, I'll just take the number 2 ring from this one. I've already checked it in the bore of the piston to make sure it's good. I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna just take the number 2 ring from that piston and put it with this one. So, all right, so just to show you all the difference, let me actually keep this beside each other. The Wiseco piston versus the Icon piston. Pretty similar. The ring, first ring land on the Wiseco is a little bit lower. And overall skirt's a little lower just because it's a little ridge here. This has a full rim around the bottom on the design. This one has it cut off. But weight wise, the measuring, they were actually pretty similar.
All right, so I weighed these out here. The Wiseco piston is about 10 grams heavier. So right now my old Icon measured and weighed in at 344. However, I do remember when these are new and undamaged, they were 346. So I'm assuming some damage and chunks taken out probably accounted for that. The wrist pin in the Icon is 120 grams. The Wiseco was 113. So I gained 10 on the piston, but I lost 7 on the pin. So roughly a 3 gram difference. And also the ring pack on the Wiseco was should be about a gram lighter. So I think I'm looking at roughly 1 or 2 gram difference. And that's pretty much what they weighed out to when I put everything together as well.
Again, I did go, this has the thicker wrist pin, I think the 2 mil wall tool steel wrist pin. This one has the stock one that came with the Wiseco. But yeah, like, other than that, this is the AP piston, so it's their armor plating on the top crown, and then I think they said the pin bore. So I think it's something similar to this anodized coating on the Icon. As I said, these are pretty similar. The armor coating on the side, like I say, the armor plating on the top. So that's kind of why it has that goldish hue to it. And obviously this one, the Icon had the anodized top, but other than that, most stuff is the same. There's 1.2 millimeter ring at the top. This one's just the 1. All the other ring packs the same. So both the same size and all that. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Just want to show those differences. I can say weight, you'll see here. And then I'm gonna just go through and clean up some stuff. I got my new bearings. These are ACL bearings. They're standard size, but these are the coated ones. So the original ones I had weren't the coated ones. So these are the coated race bearings. I went with the same size because I know there's some wear on the cam or crank, after I've kind of sanded it down, smooth sanded just to finish it off and polish it. So I'm gonna put these on and get the rods and pistons back in the block.
And here I'm just cleaning everything up, prepping it for install. So these are the bearings. Like I say, they have the coating, but I went ahead and cleaned up the back sides of the bearings, the connecting rods, cleaned the bolts, the bolt holes, make sure everything was lubed up. I got the ARP lube as well on the bolt threads and on the bolt head to kind of make sure that torque was accurate. So did this to all the pistons, all the rings, got them cleaned up and good to go. And then I didn't show actually swapping that damaged Icon with the Wiseco piston. I've done the whole kind of putting the piston together and stuff on the original build. So if you're interested in that, just look back there. Same concept, just the circlip, took that out, popped the wrist pin out, disconnected it from the piston. I did the same thing, putting it back in. Again, like I said, all the piston rings, I removed them all, cleaned all the ring lands, moved everything up, put all the rings back together or on each piston. So everything should be set and good to go. I didn't have any issues with any rings, minus that one on number 1. And like I said, I took so it was the second ring on number 1. So I took the second ring from that number 3 piston and put that on number 1. Again, it seemed perfectly fine, no issues. So I think we'll be good there. But we'll see what goes on when it's time to start it up once I get done. And also, before I put all the rings back on, I went and checked all of them again in each cylinder. They were all good within specs for what I wanted. The Wiseco obviously was the only one I had to kind of file and gap. Number two ring for the Wiseco was perfect, didn't have to touch it. And then number 1, I just had to take a little bit off. It was a little tight. I wanted 19 thousandths on the top ring. It was around, I think, 17,000, so I had to take roughly 2 thousandths off. So it's good to go now for how I want it. Just gap to the same as the other rings. Listen, I'm so happy that I remembered I had this Wiseco piston ring compressor. It was the 87 millimeter, so just what I needed. Made it real easy just to get the piston in there. I got it set up. I wanted to make sure I was good to go, so that's kind of why I took it back out to double check it. Wanted to make sure all the rings were good, the gaps were separated, and then just pops right in there. Obviously, you'll see here later the same thing. I just obviously lubed up the crank, flipped it over, and then got the bottom of the connecting rod cap on, put the bolts in there. Again, these were torqued to 25 foot-pounds. Then I do the additional 55 degrees later, which you'll see. But I got all of them in. We pretty much did all the same thing for all of them. Didn't have any issues. All of them went in like butter. Yeah.
All pistons are in. Rods connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the right order. Intake relieves over there, right side, obviously the new Wiseco. Intake side there. As you can see, that relief's bigger. So everything's in there the right way. Now I initially torqued them all to 25, and now I gotta do the additional 55 degrees. So I'm gonna try to knock that out now. All right, so I'm gonna show this one time. It's a angle gauge kinda. I already torqued it to 25, and then I'm supposed to do an additional 55 degrees. I already did 1 and 6, so it's torqued to 25 foot-pounds. Then I'm just gonna literally go through and use this. This is a little finicky. I wish there was a slightly better one, but I'm gonna set it, kind of figured out the best way to do it. Right there. Kind of lock this in to stop it from moving. I'm gonna set this dial back to 0. So the glass on the top moves. It's on 0. And then when I turn it, it's just breaker bar just because it gives me a little bit more leverage. Now all I'm doing is turning this until I get to the 55 degree mark on here. Right there, that's pretty much about 55 degrees. Then I'll go through at the end and probably check it with the stretch gauge. I'll do this one as well. Obviously I gotta do the other bolt, but since I'm already here. "55 degrees. Boom. Now, just gotta do the other ones. All right, we're back in there. Pistons, rods back in. I don't do this too much. Turns over smoothly. Don't see any issues. All my pistons coming up to the top of my cylinder bores. Looks like we're good to go. I'll flip it over. And now, next thing I'll probably do is put the head on. I marked everything. The pistons, connecting rods marked. I rechecked the main caps. They were 60 foot-pounds. Those were all good. Marked those as well. Everything looks pretty good. So that's that bottom end. I do need to clean this back off so I can get the rear main seal back on. O-ring here, and really the bottom O-pan can pretty much go on. But what I'll probably end up doing is putting the head on first. I don't know, I'm still debating. We'll see. I'm done for the night though. I'll probably
clean this back rear main seal up area. I've already cleaned it, the actual seal up, and I already threw a new seal in. So this is actually good to go. Got the gaskets already laid out for the oil. This will be the lower oil pan. This is the upper for the pickup tube, and then I got my water pump right there. This gasket came with the seal kit for the rear main seal, but I just used the silicone because that's what came with it, and that's what I'm gonna put back on it. So nothing really to worry about there. Yeah, so piston rod's good. We'll move on from there.